All right, veterans at ease. Welcome to the Dog Tag Podcast, where we'll discuss issues facing today's veterans and bring in subject matter experts to give you, the listener, a path to success as a veteran and prevent you from drowning in what I call the sea of goodness that exists for the men and women who have served our country. I'm your host, Matt Elledge, and I am an Army veteran. Stand by. So why a podcast? Well, I thought I could navigate the sea of goodness without much help, but I vastly underestimated the amount of programs, benefits, services, and resources that are available to all of us as veterans. I was fortunate enough to become the Senior Deputy Director of the Texas Veterans Land Board. And in that capacity, I've had the opportunity to lead and work with a group of people who have a wealth of knowledge about all things related to veterans. What I've found is that because there are so many opportunities available to us, there's no way we can discover and understand everything on our own. With that in mind, the intent of this podcast is to discuss veteran issues with subject matter experts who will highlight particular programs and benefits and help you navigate the process necessary to apply for and utilize the services you have earned. Along with each podcast, you're going to find links, discussion notes, and other helpful resources. Although the Texas Veterans Land Board and the Texas Veterans Commission are Texas state agencies, some of the topics we'll cover will focus on issues pertaining to the veterans in every state. Quite frankly, a lot of the topics we'll discuss will be in every state. Lastly, this podcast is for you, so if you have suggestions for future podcasts or have specific questions about a particular topic, please reach out to us. You can call us at 1-800-252-VETS. You can also send us an email at vlbinfo@glo.texas.gov or send us a message on Facebook. Just look for us on Texas VLB. All right, veterans, welcome to the first Dog Tag Podcast. The topic for this and several other podcasts are going to be focused on being successful in your first year as a veteran. And with that in mind, I've brought together a roundtable of veterans and subject matter experts to help you be successful in the first year out of service. What I've found is the first year is a very important time period to get things up and running in regards to several different programs offered by the VA and different state agencies. As I stated in the intro, we're a Texas state agency, but that doesn't mean what we discuss isn't applicable to all of our veterans across the nation. With that said, I'm going to let the roundtable introduce themselves, and then we'll get into how to be a success in your first year. Jim?
Jim Bob Mickler. I was a graduate in 1976 of Texas A&M University and received a commission in the United States Marine Corps. My wife and I married and went to the Corps, and we had the opportunity to serve as a ground officer, enjoyed my time in, and this would have been a great class to have or a great podcast to listen to in 1981 when I got out and came home to Texas. Of course, the interest rates were a little bit higher back then, didn't know anything about the VA housing, so I'm very excited that this program is going to give those veterans that were in a similar situation coming home have tools that they can use to navigate this system.
And for those of you who don't speak Marine, I am certified in speaking Marine, and I can translate very easily. So, Jim Bob, you're going to do just fine on this podcast.
We can always hope.
All right, Bill.
I'm Bill McLemore. I had about 22 years active duty service, and then right after service, retired on April Fool's Day of 1986 from final assignment as Regular Army Advisor to the Texas Army National Guard. Went to work for the Adjutant General's Department right after service. Like most everybody, did spend a lot of time in the transition assistance programs at that time. And then got probably one of the best jobs of my life working as a county veteran service officer in Travis County, Texas. That's down around the Austin area. After that, had an opportunity to go work nationwide at for one of our veteran presidents, George W. Bush. Spent a lot of time at the national level working on veterans issues. Came back home to Texas and worked with the Veterans Health Care for a long time. And then got my ultimate job working here with the Veterans Land Board and being able to help Texas, not just veterans, not just in Texas, but all over the world.
Great. Thanks. Go ahead, Sean.
All right, thank you. Good afternoon. My name is Sean Dabei, an Army veteran. I've served the last 16 years working in Veterans Employment Services, both with the Workforce Commission and the Veterans Commission. And currently, I'm the Director of Program Operations for the Texas Veterans Commission. What that covers is education, healthcare, claims, and Veteran Employment Services. So I'm excited to get started and to let everybody know about things that they probably need to know and should do their first year getting
Yeah, you bet. Okay, Ken?
My name is Ken Wallingford. I'm a Army veteran. I did 2 tours of duty in Vietnam. I have been with the Texas Veterans Land Board for a little over 27 years, worked in all different areas of the agency. Prior to joining the Land Board, in a former life, I was in banking and real estate here in Austin, Texas. And I've worked in many different areas of the Veterans Land Board over the last 27 years. My current title is Senior Advisor to the Senior Deputy Director, Matt Elledge of the Veterans Land Board. And so this is an exciting time for the Land Board in a new era as we continue to strive to reach more and more veterans and let them know of the great benefits that the state of Texas has to offer for its veterans, and also veterans that may be residing out of state that haven't realized they need to get to Texas as quickly as possible, not only for the best benefit programs in the country, because we are one of 5 states that offers anything on a state level, not to be confused with your VA, but the employment opportunities are great, the economy is doing well, the temperatures are great, so we look forward to many successful topics that we're going to cover over the next period of time on these podcasts.
Thanks, Ken. Eric?
Yes, my name is Eric Brown. I'm a former Air Force Master Sergeant, retired with 22 years of active duty service. Primarily, my duties were in the Air Force, supporting combat operations, fighter combat operations for the Air Force, and also support operations. At some point after about 15 years of serving the Air Force in combat operations, I decided to go into Air Force medical field. This consisted of mental health services, family advocacy, and substance abuse. One of the positive things about going into the field of medical in this aspect was I was able to really get a good understanding of where the need was in terms of our veterans. And so I hope to be able to impart any experience or information I can to try to help those that are transitioning into civilian life.
Yeah, sure. Edie?
Hi, my name is Edie Distler, and I was in the Air Force for 25 years. I commissioned in 1984 out of Michigan, and I served 25 years, retired in 2009. Texas is probably one of the last places I thought I'd end up, but here I am, and there's lots to make me feel at home as a veteran here in Texas. I'm the Director of External Relations at the Texas Veterans Commission. So Sean mentioned the Claims, Employment, and Education Services at the TVC, is what we call it for short. We also have the Women Veterans Program, which is fairly new and very exciting. So I would highly encourage women veterans to connect to one another, to connect to us. We also have the Veterans Entrepreneur Program and the Military Veteran Peer Network. And I have several degrees. The top 2 hang on the wall from the School of Hard Knocks. So I can tell you all about, yeah. And the first year out of service is kind of like dog years. The first year lasts at least 7. So I'm looking forward to sharing some lessons learned and hearing those of my colleagues here.
Great. And Ann?
Hi, I'm Ann Evenson, and I've worked for the Texas Veterans Land Board for 2 years as a marketing specialist. I'm also the spouse of a veteran who served in the U.S. Army for 14 years, including 2 tours in Iraq. I love my job here at the VLB because I get to help veterans and military folks and their families every day, and that is very special to me.
Thanks, Ann. Okay, so like I said, what I wanted to do, and at least what I've found, is that first year is very, very important to the veteran trying to get set up, because one day you've got a team member, depending on what service you're in. You've got a platoon sergeant, a platoon leader, you got a company commander, or depending on what your rank is, you always have somebody looking over and out for you. But guess what? When you become a veteran, you kind of feel like you're alone and unafraid. But what I'm here to tell you is that you're not. You got a team, at least here in the state of Texas, and we will help anybody in anywhere in the nation, if they're a veteran, to get linked up to the right people to make sure that they understand all the great benefits that are out there for our veterans. So what I want to do was kind of bring in this illustrious group, and what you're going to find through the mini podcasts is we'll do a lot of roundtables, because what I have seen is, although this is a wealth of knowledge inside this room, it takes about this many people to make sure that we cover all the things that we're going to cover. So in this first podcast, we're just going to kind of cover the wave top. What comes to mind to be successful for that veteran? And then as we go on into, we take deeper dives down into the specific areas like claims or jobs or education or women's benefits. We'll take those deep dives and really get into it.